siya atong first story mga guys. Then sunod, we have our next story entitled The Creation of Heaven and Earth. So Bisaya pa ni is ang pagbuhat sa langit ug sa kalibutan. Nakaduog naman ni no sa inyong religion, sa religion teacher ninyo. Then sige, let's begin our story. So in the beginning, there was nothing. Everything was formless, and darkness covered the surface of everything. Only God existed. One day, God commanded that there should be light, and the light was created. On the first day of creation, God made night and day. On the second day, God created the sky to separate the waters. On the third day, the creation of land and sea took place. He also commanded that the land produce vegetation and seed-bearing plants, and that they must all multiply according to their own kind. On the fourth day, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars, in order to serve as markers of the day, the night, the years, and the sacred times. On the fifth day, God created all the living creatures in the sea and in the air, and commanded that they should multiply according to their own kinds. On the sixth day, the creation of all the land animals was done, and he commanded them all to go forth and multiply across the earth, according to their own kind. Then he formed man out of the dust of the earth and breathed life into him. From the rib of the man he created the woman, and he gave man and woman authority over all the earth. God was pleased by all that he created. And on the seventh day, the God rested. So that is all about the creation of the heaven and the earth. So, manata sa atong first and second story. So now, let us proceed with our third to ikatulo nga story entitled David and Goliath. So, when the war between the Israelites and Philistines took place, a giant named Goliath would shout out a challenge each day to any Israeli who would defeat him in battle. Nobody was brave enough to face him. When David heard him challenge the armies of God, he told King Saul that he would fight the giant. King Saul was worried as David was not a warrior, but he put his own royal armor on David and gave him his blessing. David asked that the armor is removed as he was not used to it. He chose instead to face the giant dressed as a simple shepherd boy. His slingshot his only weapon. As the giant came towards him, David slung a stone in his slingshot and shot the giant. The small stone sunk into Goliath's head and the giant died instantly. The Philistines tried to flee when their hero died, but the Israeli army cut them off and defeated them. So, our moral lesson in this story is that God does not look at the appearance of a person, but instead looks at a person's heart. He does not need his people dressed in fancy armor to help them, defeat their enemies. So that's the end of our third story.